All right, all right. Just check a few things here. Man. All right, we seem good. It's good chat. It's good TM. It's good red. I hope everyone's having a great day. Doing all right. We got no camera on because my room is a mess, and I'm currently only in underwear right now. Doing laundry right now because I completely forgot that I had no clothes when I got home from work, and I did not want to be in my work clothes. But we chilling, bro. Oh man. So, just a quick few updates. So, I know, like last time we talked a bit more. We talked a bit about the whole like gaming streaming situation. Because you guys might have noticed that we haven't streamed a while on Ethan's channel, besides like that one failed stream. So we decided. Well, more like I decided. I don't know what Dylan and Ethan are gonna do, but we're like not gonna do. We're not gonna do like constant like streaming together anymore. Like we were kind of having like a heated discussion. Well, mainly Ethan and I. Dylan was being silent. But Ethan and I, we were kind of having like a heated discussion on like the way things were and how and just like how things just weren't really like working out and I just got kind of like tired of it, Loki. Um, because mind you, and I did understand like some of the stuff that he was saying, but and I'm not gonna get into it much. But like with my thing, it's that like I'm getting up early during the day, working like these long shifts. I come home, I still do my cardio outside of work. I still do strength training, do a litany of other things. Um, and and I'm willing to play something like I really only play games the night before, um, the night before a day I'm off or during the day that I'm off. Um, so that and I'm mostly like I'm guaranteed off on Thursdays. Lately, it's been Thursdays and Saturdays. Last week though, it was Thursday and Sunday. This week and next week, it's gonna be Thursday and Friday. But the thing with me is that like, yes, like just because I'm off the next day, it doesn't mean that if I'm working like fucking 5 days in a row and I get like one day off, like yeah, I'm willing to stay up late, like a little bit late to play something, but I don't want to stay up like too late. I can't do it. I'm gonna get tired. So his issue is that like he and I will be on, or I'll just be on, and if I'm waiting for Ethan or Dylan, mostly Dylan, to hop on, his issue is that I would always like just like hop off. And it's like, and I can understand that. Well, actually, his thing was that I will hop off without telling Dylan. But I'm like, if I tell Dylan that I'm about to hop off, that's not gonna make him hop on any faster if he's busy with the side quest. So, but like I don't just like we set a time for when we're gonna hop on, and I give them at the bare minimum like 45 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, but on average, I give them an hour or an hour and a half. And it mind you, it's like fucking like 11 o'clock at night. So we decide to hop on at 11 or 11:30. It's 12:30. I'm done. Like I'm not interested in playing anything. And then here's the kicker though. When we do play something, then we also got to put up with Dylan's internet. As you guys saw, we couldn't do Power Wash Simulator, and we couldn't do Game Beast. But Game Beast, that wasn't really like anyone's fault with Game Beast. It was just like a server, PlayStation server issue. Um, So between that, the constant like communication barrier that we have for whatever reason, at least on my end, I thought that I was, doing better communicating. And Ethan said I wasn't, but to each their own. I would just always say like what days I'm available, what nights I'm available, and and I will let them know. Well, I wouldn't let them know when I'm on because like I'll be on when we the time that we agree to be on. And then I mean, Ethan's all right with communication. The thing with Ethan, Ethan's just like he's just too hard strong about it. And then like you do one thing and he gets upset, but then if he does the same, then it's valid in his eyes, you know. And then Dylan just does his side quest and doesn't say fucking anything to anybody. So you know, I'm up here tired of shit, you know, waiting on one or both of them to hop on, and then we get on, and then we can barely do anything. We either don't play anything because of Dylan's internet, or if we do, we don't play anything long because it's already like late. And you know, and like I said with you guys, like, because you know, the three of us, like, we're grown up. You guys are grown up too. So you know, it's not fair for us to consistently stream like at like 12 a.m. basically. Um, and so my thing is like, look, because you know, I've been reaching out to Izzy. Izzy wants to play something. Kaylee wants to play something. Rooster has a PS5 now, but he can only play on Saturdays. So I'm like, I'll be down to maybe like run something with like everyone else, or if you, Dylan, and Kage want to play something, that's fine. But with just you two, like I'm gonna step back because it's just getting too much. It literally felt like trying to play games like with them two. Like it went from being like something fun to being a hassle, and that's not how it should be. And Ethan's thing is that he wants to do um Baldur's Gate, but he wants to play like as fast and consistently as possible. And I'm like, well, here's the thing: even if we were to do Baldur's Gate, and like let's say that like you know everything was like we could communicate better, and like we hopped on like every time that we said we were gonna hop on, like Baldur's Gate is long as fuck. Like the main story alone, I think is like 1,000 hours. Like even like on the notion of us like doing a series on Baldur's Gate like we planned, like I really only intended on doing something like a mini series at most, because there are going to be like other games that drop, you know, both single player and multiplayer that I would be down to play. Um, so and you know, more importantly, if we're going to be doing all these other games and then playing games with Kage, or following games with a story, I don't trust him well enough to want to keep that consistent because we couldn't play Split Fiction consistently. He would always turn that down, and he would want to play something with Dylan, and then guess what? Dylan would go on his side quests and not say anything to anybody. Or Dylan will not say anything to anybody, and then he'll hop on and then still not say anything to anybody. Um, so you know, like I said, it was just starting to like a lot of things were just starting to piss me off, starting to piss Ethan off. Dylan, I don't know, 'cause like I said, Dylan didn't say anything, even though this was a discussion in the group chat. So like I said, I don't know if Ethan's gonna try and do something with Dylan. Ethan has a new job now, and his schedule is different. Like I think he's working like 6 a.m. to like 5 p.m. So from what he texted me, but yeah, so I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Like I did just say that I am playing Helldivers 2 for the new DLC. So I did say that if he and Dylan um just want to run that, like that's fine by me. Because how I worded it, because I don't want to sound too aggressive with it, but like how I worded it was that like I'll play something with you two like when I'm in the mood. But in reality, what I really meant was I don't really want to play anything for like not like for like ever, but just a break, because it's like I said, it's getting to be too much, and it's been like this since like I don't know, I'll say like fucking March. But you know, it just it is what it is. Yeah, he works 6:30 to 5:30 Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 3:30 on Saturday. Uh, so yeah, and Dylan closes. So yeah, I don't think that they'll be down to play anything. But you know, it just it it is what. So I'm playing like Helldivers like a little bit here and there for the DLC. I'm kind of digging it so far. Um, but yeah, so with the tournament, that's probably gonna get canceled. Um, because like I said, I'm just gonna do my own thing, for now, like Miles, and you know, and and like I said before, I'm like, we don't always have to play something like consistently. Like, I'm sure you guys would love to see them to continue playing like Red Dead or something, and then Dylan doesn't stream at all. But in case that we do end up playing something with Kage or with um Rooster and Kaylee, Izzy, I do still have Gang Beasts and Fall Guys on my dashboard, so um, if at any point in time any of those guys are free to play something like that, we'll be down. I don't know. I texted something in the group chat last time. Only Dylan responded, so probably in this group chat, I'll say something like one more time, and then if no one responds, then I'm probably just gonna like ignore that. Um, but yeah, because like I said, I have other shit I gotta do. So, and that's one of the games I want to talk about. Doom: The Dark Ages. Um, I wouldn't say that it was trash, but it was a step down from Eternal, 100%. Um, I think like the only thing I would say that Dark Ages did better was probably like the sound design, and then that's about it. Everything else was done better on Eternal. They got rid of like they got like so lazy on the glory kills, and then they removed the dash mechanic um when you're just like roaming, and they locked it to combat only, and that just pissed me off. um there are also like a few bugs here and there. I don't know. I didn't really enjoy it, you know but is it worth playing though? Like, like if you want to get it, I would say you can get it, but I would say just wait until it's on sale, and like heavily on sale, like probably like half price. Um, if not, then I'd say just go play Doom Eternal. Honestly, um, and even the story was just kind of like, like mediocre. But the Doom games, like, they aren't really like heavily like story based, at least for the most part. But I don't know, like that. It's just like that's like a general description of something like being mid. Like getting rid of like getting rid of like majority of like the freaking like um the glory kills that killed the game for me. But I don't know. It I'm trying to look something up actually pertaining to Doom: The Dark Ages, but I was really I was massively disappointed. But like I said, it wasn't like trash by any means. It wasn't trash by any means, but they this isn't the greatness that they've done before. What was it, like ID Software? I think makes the Doom games. I don't know, and then also like the Shield too. Like, and then also the fucking the mech. Um, the mech and there was something else where there were like mini games. Those were the mech and the dragon. Those were trash, bruh. Oh my god. And then even like the range thing, but I don't. I know it just felt like slow down, and then like I said, they removed the glory kills. I don't I don't know. And then not the range. I said range. I meant the parry. Giving Doom guy a shield was is just like they made like a lot of decisions that just don't make sense. That's the issue with the game. Why the fuck would Doom guy need a shield? Makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. And then just having to like parry like 90% of the time, like I don't know, like it's like a beta fucking like Dark Souls game or Elden Ring or Soulsborne type games like, is the proper term. But instead of just dodging all the time, you just parry all the time. It's fucking annoying and it's repetitive. So I don't know. Like I said, like I said, if you want to buy the game, I would say just buy it at like half price or higher. Um, but I was really really disappointed with that. All right, I need to order some food. I haven't eaten like fucking all day. Understandable, but up to you guys stream together. Yeah, I mean, maybe we will like in the future. I mean, like I said, it's just like I said. I told him I think that with him, like he tries to do like everything that he absolutely wants to, and then has like this expectation that Dylan and I do as well. Because I don't even really have a problem with Dylan for real. Like it's just that he says he's gonna do something, then he goes off and does a side quest, and then doesn't hop on till like an hour later, afterwards. And then, but what Ethan and I would call him out on it, then he would get mad at us. That's the crazy part. But like I said, I'm working. I'm about to start working full time. Um, I'm working out. I'm now I need to start. I'm gonna start cooking. Like, I cook like a little bit here and there, but I need to start cooking like more. Um, and I'm involved with someone. I'm not. I wouldn't say dating. Dating is not the right word, but I'm involved with someone, and um, like I said, it's just I have a lot going on in my personal life, and gaming itself is a backseat for me. And when I have the time to hop on the game, I don't want to waste time waiting for them, to hop on, and like an hour and a half passes. And on top of that, I'm trying to maintain like 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So I would much rather take like that small amount of gaming time that I have to put it towards like actual like gaming and get to play stuff myself. We're currently doing Mafia. Um I'm I'm gonna be honest, even though I can see people mean by the gameplay being hella repetitive, I'm really enjoying Mafia 3. Um I've enjoyed like I enjoyed Mafia 1 and 2 as well. But and yeah, I'm really really enjoying Mafia 3. In fact, I think because Friday we're not gonna play Mafia 3 because I'm gonna be covering Summer Game Fest. I took that day off for us to cover that. So, but I think the showcase starts at 5:30. My mom works from home, so hopefully she'll get off in time so I can have the LAN cable and so that I can watch the showcase. Um, yeah, and I need I'm planning on buying my own LAN cable because we have two more outlets for the LAN cable, so I do want to buy my own at some point. But yeah, that's I forgot to talk about the two. Yeah, we'll be watching. I took off the day well because I knew that if I requested to only like work like a half early shift, like I knew like more than likely like they would probably like look at me to stay back and help out. Because like one time they were mad that I didn't stay back on a Friday, but I'm like I got off my scheduled time, so it just is what it is. Um, but yeah, so like I'm gonna be honest, like I much rather prefer us having like full time people, more full time people. Um, on a Friday. So, and I'm normally scheduled 8 hours on Friday. So rather instead of just working like a 6 hour shift, I'm just like just cut me out and put somebody else in. Um, yeah. So that's what I did. So we'll be doing that. Watch the Summer Game Fest Friday evening. And I'm not gonna like stream like Thursday during the day anymore because like I try like that's why for everyone who was watching the Mafia 2 stream, like the stream kept crashing and I had to keep restarting it. Because like I need the LAN, I needed the LAN cable because like my mom when she works there she sucks up most of the internet. Um, so and I need that LAN cable. I need that shit. So that's why like I think like last Thursday, actually I don't think I streamed last Thursday. But if I did that Thursday though, um, yeah, I streamed after she got off, or maybe I didn't because I had work. I probably didn't because I had to get up early Friday morning. Um, yeah, so this Friday we'll be catching up. We'll be watching Summer Game Fest. I'm not expecting anything too crazy. Um, but yep, I'll be there watching. Um, oh yeah, and I just realized, speaking of gaming, fucking EA deciding to cancel their licensing games. The Black Panther game got canceled, which is fucking wild. But I'm not too upset considering the game has been in pre-production for 4 years, meaning that team was not moving fast enough. Um, and so I took it as okay because EA they took on the license with Marvel and Disney to do like 3 Marvel games, Iron Man, Black Panther, and then something else. Um, so when that game got canceled, I'm like, well, shit. The third game is probably going to get canceled because it's not far enough in development to the point where we don't even know who the character is going to be. And then Iron Man, we have like no like major updates and info on Iron Man. And I think Iron Man was leaked back in not leaked, it was announced back in 2022. Um, or at the very or at least 2023. Um, like I think like the last update I remember them was like a description of like the type of gameplay, and then there was a playtest. Um, But yeah, but now they're saying that they want, Motive, who's making Iron Man, they're gonna continue like doing like the 3 deal. But EA, instead of like it being licensed EA themselves, they're gonna make the games through Motive. Which people are upset about. I'm like, it does mean like in the world, as long as they don't meddle with Motive, they should be it should be fine. Just like how they don't meddle with the guys that make the Star Wars games and Hazel Lake. And that's another thing too. I'm like, there's no way that it could be like a money issue. I'm like because Split Fiction did like really really good. Um, but yeah, and I'm so sick of seeing all these fucking YouTubers like Evan Falarka for example or Falarka or whatever the hell his name is. Every time you go to his videos, he's always Marvel Games is cooking, Marvel Games is cooking. Like cooking with what, bruh? We have no major info on Iron Man. Black Panther is canceled. 1943 got delayed, and we still haven't seen any gameplay of it. We have no official marketing um, of Wolverine from Insomniac. Everything that we're seeing is from the leaks. Mind you, that game got announced back in 2021. Um, Leak or not, that's still pretty fucking crazy. And Insomniac fumbled the bag with Spider-Man 2 to the point where they don't want to do DLC. And I think that's about it basically. And the third Marvel game that's in development by as part of like that EA deal is probably canceled as well. Um, so yeah, so no, like I'm so sick of like these YouTubers just like hyping up like all like these games like these gaming developers just to get like fucking perks. And people get mad at Evan Philographer because he glazes like Insomniac and he tries to say in their good graces. But I'm like, to be fair, he is who he is because of Insomniac. Uh, so it's not surprising that he would do that. But my thing is like, don't make like a whole bunch of fucking videos, talking about the DLC, getting people's hopes up, and the DLC wasn't even fucking confirmed, and then telling everybody to calm down because they're flipping out when Insomniac says they're not doing any DLC. Like, no, you were part of the problem. And he and a whole bunch of the YouTubers are doing the same thing with the fucking Venom game, just because it was leaked that there was a Venom game in development. Like, we don't know if it's still in development, and we won't know until Insomniac says anything, because they suck at communication. Um, so if they decide not to go forward with any DLC, I doubt that they're gonna go forward with the Venom game. But I'm so sick of just like seeing all these videos on my timeline, these clickbaity ass titles of people talk about the Venom game like it's confirmed that it's happening. Like, it's not. So stop talking about it. And then when Insomniac says they're not gonna go forward with the Venom game, then people are gonna be upset. And then these same YouTubers will be like, calm down, it's not that serious." Like, I don't understand like how like there are two types of YouTube content that I will never understand how that people can get into. Clickbaity videos and YouTube drama. And the thing like, and it's crazy because like they both just do well on YouTube for whatever reason. But it's like, why would you want to do that though? Like, these people who are like into YouTube drama and who like just like talk shit about other content creators for their content is crazy to me. Like, it shows that you like lack like the actual like creativity to like do something yourself, or like you have like no personality other than just like shitting on people. And then, mind you, people are like attacking other people just for like their takes on like video games or like movies or TV shows instead of like actually like real world problems. Like, it'll be something different and people were like debating like politics. But no, these people are here talking about like fucking like Gunn Superman versus Snyder Superman, or whether or not Marvel Spider-Man 2 is good or bad. And then it's so bad to the point where people do like actual like live streams and they just sit there for like 2 or 3 hours, just like watching other content creators and then just like shitting on them. Now, some of them do deserve it, like Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic and whatnot. But like, even still at that point, like, enough has got to be enough. Because my thing is like, what if these YouTubers just like they don't exist on the platform anymore? Like, let's say like a Thanos snap and they just don't exist. Then your content will be nothing. You will have to like find someone else to shit on, and then people just like gobble that shit up. It's like you really hate this person like that bad that you want to see other people shit on them. Like, at that point, why don't you just make your own content and shit on them yourself? But I digress. It is what it is. We got a little off topic, But yeah. So Summer Game Fest will be on Friday. Um, it's crazy. I say, I don't understand YouTube drama as I was talking shit about Evan Falarka, but that's like a quick little like a little segment. It wasn't like a dedicated video or stream to him, but oh man. But yeah, Summer Game Fest Friday. We might play Mafia 3. We might play Mafia 3 tonight, or at the very least like this evening. Actually, probably not. We'll do tomorrow. Tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening. Wednesday. Wednesday evening. And then Thursday evening, we'll do Mafia 3. And then Friday, we'll watch Summer Game Fest. And yeah. After we finish Mafia 3, I'm not going to lie. We do got a new series to start. We're going to do The Last of Us. Because after watching the show, which I will get into in a second, kind of made me appreciate the game a bit more. And I don't really remember much of the game because I never played the game. I saw the leaks and I said, no, I'm not playing the shit. So I've just seen cutscenes, so I've never actually played The Last of Us Part 2. But I am actually kind of excited to like, it's always good to play like an actual like good sequel, you know, after you play like an absolute like shit one. So get playing Jedi Survivor for the first time after playing the basura that was Marvel Spider-Man 2. I felt I was chilling. So now that I played Doom the Dark Ages, I'm itching to play some Last of Us Part 2, at least gameplay wise. Um, but just seeing, I'm well aware of like the major plot points of the game, of the story. So just going from that to the show, the show fucking pissed me off, man. And like I said, I'll get into that a little bit, but part 2, the remastered version, the PS5 version, is on sale. So I'm gonna pick that up. But it'll probably be best if I play part one first to kind of get like a feel of like that universe and the controls and game mechanics anyway. So yeah, we'll be doing part one, and then we'll be doing part two. Um, I do GTA 5. Well, GTA 5, I don't think I played the. No, I did play the December DLC. But they do have something new in the game. But I'm poor now in that game, so I can get my money up. And then they're also doing their summer DLC. So at some point in time, I do also want to do GTA. So we're in June now. I'm hoping to finish Mafia 3 and start The Last of Us by June. Play Last of Us Part 2 in July, and do start GTA around that time. And then August we'll do Mafia: The Old Country. Um, like I said, I don't even think we'll probably like even get to the GTA DLC. Like I said, because I gotta make a lot of fucking money. Because I do the DLC and the previous update. But I did play the previous DLC though. Because that's how I got that clip from. But they added something new to the game, so I gotta do that. But yes, I don't know. We'll play it by ear, but for now, I only like Mafia 3. I think that game is like long as shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like we just got through the first act by killing the lieutenants and whatnot, and we still gotta finish the lieutenants, go after the underbosses. There's side missions to do, which I'm surprised because the first two didn't have side missions. Um, but yeah, um, and also the DLC too. So Mafia 3 is gonna take us a minute to to get through probably, but I'm hoping to at least finish it and start Last was Part 1 by July. Um, and I'll still be playing like Helldivers 2 every now and then. But I probably won't stream it. Might be like an off stream game for me. I still also want to do like that other like movie like game. Um, I'll probably actually do that in between Mafia 3 and The Last of Us, but yeah. Yeah, so that's what I got planned. Mafia 3, Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2, and GTA and Mafia the Old Country. Um, and then we just gotta find something to do um, for like the rest of August and September. Because mind you, Kage and Dylan go back to school at the end of August, so like the plan really was for us to do content with Kage or June. July will be the tourney, and then August would be um, Baldur's Gate. But maybe Ethan will play Baldur's Gate with his other friends, like the guys that are in Goofy Beats. Um, like I said, I think with him having to work 6 to 5, Monday through Friday, and he just then he also has to work out, and then he has to go to bed at a decent time and wake up. I don't think that he's probably like too keen to streaming now. Because I think like besides like the one time that we had like that failed stream, I think like the last stream we did was not even the last stream that he ever did was that Minecraft one. the clickbaity title I'm tired, but yeah. So we'll see. If we do end up playing something like Game Beast or Fall Guys with the squad, I will make a community post and let you guys know when. But it'll most likely be like either Wednesday night, third, yeah, Tuesday night. No, not Tuesday night. Wednesday night and Thursday night. But yeah. But anyways, going into the last. Actually, I'll probably just text him right now. Yeah, I went to the Last of Us, bro. Last of Us was fucking trash, bro. I went into that show with full high expectations, and I don't regret it because the first season was so good, and they sold. They quite literally did the opposite of what they did with part one. Part one, they made all these changes to increase the lore, give us some more backstory, because like when you go back to the game, because I did play the game one time after going to the show, they kind of just like throw you into this world, but like they give lore, they give backstory, they give context to the world and to the characters and whatnot. And then here in part two, they're making changes, but they're unnecessary and they do absolutely nothing for the plot. Okay, and I thought that they could move some things around, and like with how much time they fucking wasted in this game, they honestly could have had just Joel die at the season finale, and then that would have been it. But they didn't. But it is what it is. Number one, let's talk about Abby. Uh, Caitlin Dever. With the community. Caitlin Dever should have been cast as Ellie. When it comes to Bella Ramsey, I didn't really care as much for her. Like people complain about it with part one. I'm like, I think it's all right. Like she sells being a 14-year-old. She sounds like Ellie. But my issue was like, okay, how are they gonna do like this 5-year time skip? Like, are they gonna like age her up a bit? And of course they didn't. She doesn't give off the fact that she's 19. She still looks like a little child. Um, eh, excuse me. Well, my thing is that like people, I don't even like blame her. I do have like concerns about her acting, but it's not really her fault. It's the casting director's fault. They chose her. And it's not like That's why I have people like shit on actors for the most part. Is that like these people didn't like just like walk up and say I'm gonna be this and no one else will be like, no. There's a process. People audition and then the casting directors choose who they think is best. Now I do think that the actress who played Ellie, like I said, Caitlin Dever, she should have been the one to play Ellie. Um, But yeah, so we cut to the post credits into part one, not the ending. I mean, and I mean maybe this is probably like Abby like before the 5-year time skip. So I'm like, so maybe she hasn't hit like that. She hasn't hit the gym yet. No, she still hasn't hit the gym. She's not buff at all. She's just like still like this petite little girl, bro. Now, there's a customer service manager at the store I work at who was watching the show, but she doesn't know anything about the game. So I showed her a picture. I'm like, this is what Abby's supposed to really look like, because things like Abby being muscular and buff, like it shows you like how much her anger and her trauma transformed her, into like like this, I guess, like wildebeest, you could say. Um, because like the things like people got, Joel is an adult man, bro. Um, so she had to get her weight up so she could take him on. Um, So when we cut to the scene in the second episode of her just like punching Joel, I'm like, is anyone even really buying this? With her with her arms being skinnier than my forearm, probably. Like, no. I just I don't know what they were thinking, but they were not cooking. Now, one thing I did like how they had like an actual explanation for why the community didn't want to go after the people who killed Joel. Because in the game they said we can't spare the people, but nothing like crazy happened. So I like how in the show the infected pulled up to their community and they were fucking shit up. My goat Tommy took out a bloater, and I like how they switched it up because it fucking pissed me off when Ellie and Dina are here fooling around and Joel's getting his head bashed in. So I like how they switched it up, and I like how Ellie was with Jesse and Dina was with Joel, and Tommy was back at the camp. And another thing that I like too is that like it kind of, which I wish they highlighted more, but I did like how Dina had a good relationship with Joel, as we saw in the first episode. And she was there when they killed Joel, so she has her own reasons to go after them as well. That I like that. The first two episodes, I will say, like, were solid. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The first episodes were solid. A lot of people were iffy on the first episode. Um, but I'm like, yeah, I can see why, but it's just the first episode. Let's let them cook, see what they're working with. Second episode was like a little better. I'm like, okay, I kind of like where this is going. Had a feeling Joel was gonna die. But you know, it is what it is. But they could have like just like paced it like so much more better. Like it's paced worse than the game, honestly. And I thought that with them like showing like the full party scene because that takes place at like the end of the game, just about. I thought that they were gonna do like the flashbacks, like do that differently. I thought that this season was gonna be actually just the flashbacks. Um, but I mean, and because like having like an episode dedicated to that, like in the middle of what's going on, it doesn't really hit different. Like it hits different, like when you play the game, like it hits different, like watching that in the show, like the first season with the Left Behind stuff, because like you aren't just playing like just Left Behind, the flashback. You're going through present time, and then back then when Joel was about to die from getting stabbed, and you're going through the mall looking for supplies. So, and I think at part two, if I'm not mistaken, it's just you're just doing just the flashback. Um, but it is what it is. Then like all the episodes after that, except for I think it was like episode 6 or 7. I think it was 6. The flashback episode that had Joel in it. That episode was good. That and the first episodes were the only good episodes. Everything else between that was just nonsensical filler. The stuff with Ellie and Dina was trash just because of the fact that they completely destroyed Ellie's character. Um, I don't understand why they thought that it would be a good idea to have Ellie just be like serious and determined to kill, Abby and her team. 1 minute, the next minute she's like goofing off with Dina. I'm gonna be a dad. Like, no, like it was just so inconsistent, and that's not her character at all. Um, I, I just don't know what they were thinking. Like I said, it's just like it was just a lot of them they were just boring, you know. A lot of things were just boring, and I don't know. Uh, I don't know. They did not cook with the season at all, and I'm glad to see. Um, Not even really just like fans of the game, but like some fans of the show. Like of course, you got like the constant Glazers and Defenders. If they like the show, good for them. If you enjoy trash storytelling, good for you. But and I don't expect everything to be like a 1-to-1 adaptation of like the original. I'm fine with you doing something different, but you don't take like the core values of like these characters and like twist them up or just like toss them out the window. Or if you're gonna twist them up, then you have to like mold them back together later on down the road. And then what pissed me off too is like Ellie's story. Her story is like it's not that it's bad, but it's like it's one dimensional because she's just going after Abby. And, like Abby was going through some intense, crazy shit. So the fact that we didn't see Abby at all during the season, I'm like, what are they doing? I'm like, you really gonna tell me that they're gonna just have Abby kill Joel and she just fucks off for the rest of the season? And that's basically what she does. And then it pissed me off when we went to the ending and um they go back in time. So it's like, really, you guys are gonna milk you guys are gonna milk the game, the series that bad to the point where you're gonna like do like another like 7 or 8 episode season and just tell it from Abby's perspective. Like, bro, if you cut out all the dumbass filler between Ellie and Dina, you could have did something with Abby then, or just go back and forth because that's not an unusual thing. If you have like two leading characters, which in this case would be Ellie and Abby if they used her. Like it's not normal. It's not I mean sorry, it's normal for shows to, do two different stories at the same time, following two different characters. Um but yeah, so to I don't know. And I don't even really blame them because they had to make a show. It's Neil Druckmann's fault and Naughty Dog's because like it's been like there's no Last of Us Part 3 because they're up here, remastering um the first two games for no fucking reason. Um, but yeah, that just pissed me off. Um, and then the um, the scene with Ellie and Nora, like just thing with Bella Ramsey is that like she doesn't give off. I'm not scared of her. I'm not scared of her. I don't know what to tell you. Um, but yeah. Also, I think like the way they ended, like the cliffhanger was fucking stupid because like everybody knows that Ellie isn't gonna die because she's the main fucking character, so she doesn't die. Um, but yeah. But I'm hoping that they at least like make. Oh, another thing about Ellie too. She's also just like fucking she's immature as fuck too, bro. Like, she was talking with Jesse, and then Ellie who's like, oh, so you just think you're better than me, because he prioritizes the community before himself, and he was trying to teach her a lesson, and she just like brushes it off, like she's like, so she's just like immature, like she still acts like the same 14-year-old that we saw in part one or the first season, like just let her grow up, because like how do we go from the game of Ellie finding out Dina is pregnant? How do we go from the game version saying you're a liability now, aren't you? And then her being pissed off and selfish because her mission is basically compromised, to her going, "Huh, I'm gonna be a dad." And what's crazy is that, like I said, I don't. They treated Jesse so horrible in the game. I was hoping that they would do him better in the show, and they kind of did. But like, why the fuck would Dina tell Ellie that she's pregnant before she ever told Jesse? Cause or not even that, or I guess if she kind of had to technically, but she should have told Jesse when they first met. But he figured it out. Um, yeah, the fact that she told Ellie, she had no problem telling Ellie, but she had a problem telling Jesse, that it's fucking stupid to me. Because like, regardless if you're together or not, that's your baby daddy, bro. That's your baby daddy. And then like I said, we know that he dies, in the game, and then no one, he's never brought up again. No one gives a shit about him. So I hope they fix that. Um, but yeah, just watching the show, the Travesty that was the show, it makes me appreciate the game a little bit more. So since it's on sale, I'm gonna buy it. And then we're gonna play it. That's right. Joel was episode 6. The stuff with Nora was episode 7. The Joel episode I thought was pretty solid. The only thing that I hated was I was glad to see, because when he went to the therapist, I was glad to see what they were talking about when he killed her husband. I still think that he was right because like every day the virus itself, like it mutates. So you might think that homeboy might have had time to make it back to town because, like, mind you, Ellie and Joel were off somewhere else, and then old dude was 10 minutes away from them. So we don't know how far away that Joel and Ellie were even from the camp. But regardless, that's an extra 10 minutes. That they not the camp, the community. But regardless, that's an extra 10 minutes for him to go, for them to go save him. So we don't know. So I was fine with him killing him. What I thought was pretty crazy was the fact that he straight up lied to the therapist's face and then said that he killed himself. Um, and then they twisted to say, well, if Joel has no problem lying to the therapist, then that means that he had no problem lying to Ellie. Cause I also like that. I didn't like how Ellie just like assumed that he did that he lied to her about the fireflies. Where in the game she finds like actual fucking evidence. Um, but I don't know, man. I just don't know, and I won't say that's entirely out of character for Joel. It's like because Joel would lie. Um, but he should have just said that he was infected and he shot him. That's all he should have said. I doubt Ellie would have said anything too because like there's no truth in that. I mean, there's no lie in that. He was infected and Joel had to kill him. Um, but he had a conversation with him prior too. Like he could at least brought that up. That's the issue with the game, and with Joel and Ellie as well. Like all the beef between Joel and Ellie like could have been fine had they just talked to each other. Had Joel had just been like upfront and honest about what had happened. Maybe like not right then and after, but a conversation at the very least. Like for him to go 5 years without saying anything is fucking crazy. With Ellie being, I'll say it's more crazier for Ellie to be mad at Joel for 2 years straight and then be upset that he dies. Like I don't. I guess we said that Joel was like fucking invincible, but it's like you're in a zombie apocalypse, bro. Like he could die at any moment in time. So stop being petty. Like yes, he lied to you. Fucking get over it. Because then now that he's gone, now she wants to act, boo hoo, I fucking miss him. Fuck the community. Joel was my community, and I watched my community get beat to death. Like, where was his energy at for like the last 2 years? Then that you're fucking mad at him. He ass fucking shit. But yeah, I thought that was crazy for him to just lie straight to her face and then proceed to go to help to her afterwards. Because I thought that like maybe like Joel had just like like killed the guy or something like, and it was like unjust. I'm like, because that would fit Joel's character, but no, he did the right thing. At least I think so. I think he did the right thing, but he just did too much with it. All right, he should have been honest. Said that he wanted to see him, but that he wanted to see her, but Joel didn't think that it was the best and safe decision. So that he had a conversation and that he was able to help him see her when he closed his eyes. He was able to help him see her before he killed him, and he went out peacefully. All right, like damn, but to say that he sounds actually like he took his own life, he was very brave. Like, what are you doing, bro? I don't know. And they go into one-to-one adaptations. We did see the Lilo and Stitch remake. Um, a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people loved it. I didn't have an issue with it. I had like a lot of problems with it, but I enjoyed it for the most part. But I having no Gantu in the movie, making Jumba the villain, and then no Ugly Duckling comparison is in a Lilo and Stitch movie is fucking crazy to me. But other than that, I thought the cast was solid. They followed the story pretty well. I wasn't too upset with them doing the whole, this like they went from disguises with clothes to like, using like technology to appear as humans. I didn't really mind that. I know that it was I know it was that the disguises should like fool these people, but they didn't realize it. Because like, bro, Fleekley has like one eye, Jumba has four. Um, yeah, and a lot of people didn't like the ending, and I think maybe it's because like for me, I did like how they switched the message up. Like Ohana means family, and family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. But you also can't leave yourself behind or forget yourself. And so, from somebody who grew up, you know, single parent household, having a younger child, like I didn't really get to do like like I'm not gonna say like my childhood was terrible, but like I didn't get to like really like my childhood basically consisted of me like middle school and high school. After I get home from school, I had to go straight home and I had to stay there because I had to watch my sister. So I didn't get to do the things that I want to do. And even now, my work schedule like reflects around me making sure that I'm home in time to get her off the bus and so she can chill at home. At the very least, just she could be okay by herself at home, but at the very least, just get her off the bus. Because she's in a post grad program, kind of like college. Um, but so yeah, so I didn't really get to do like a whole lot of things like like going over to people's houses, going to birthday parties, that weren't family. Um, I did go outside, a little bit, when I was a kid. But that'll be like during like when my mom was home. Um, but yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that, because there are like a lot of people who, they don't get to have like a life for themselves because they put family above everything else. And it's like you should, but at the same time, you can't like you shouldn't, leave yourself behind as well. So with that being said, I did like how they twisted that meaning. I think the delivery, like the payoff of it, was very underwhelming because like the neighbor chick, they should have just had her just be like David's mom instead of just being like just like or like just Lilo's like neighbor. Because like they at one point like they're selling the story as basically how like Lilo, not Lilo, Nani like Nani has like no support system. But at the end, like she just supposedly does. Um, but it's like no, like I think they should have had the neighbor be like more connected with their story because she was really just like if we're being honest, she was just like more like for like comedic timing basically. Um, yeah, just have her be more involved, and now just have her be David's mom, and and, you know it and that I think like if they did all that, I think the payoff would have been better. Um, people also say that like they thought that the movie was melodramatic because of the they pressed hard on the social services like part of the story. I'm like I guess, but like that's how it kind of is in the real world, you know. Like I think in the animated movie Bubbles, which I was fucking pissed off because Bubbles should have been played by Terry Crews, but Bubbles, who was social the social worker, his rules were basically he told Nani to get a new job and for Stitch to be a model citizen, you know, because you know everyone thinks that he's a dog. But I'm like, what? Like, no. So I'm glad there's like actual struggle there, and the social worker there, who was the original voice actor for Nani, said, um, you know, basically just clean up, food stocked in the fridge, um, food stocked in the fridge, house clean, a whole bunch of other stuff. It was like real, actual like realistic expectations. And since she couldn't follow those like, expectations, then she ended up, you know, losing Lilo. I'm like, that's how it works in the real world. I'm not gonna lie. This is a it's not like more like it can be viewed as an adaptation of the story, but it's more so like a realistic like take on the story as well. All right, no alien is gonna come from space and they come to Earth, and that they can disguise themselves with human clothes while having like only one eye or four eyes. Like they're gonna use technology to make themselves look human. Like I can buy that. Um, so yeah, so like a lot of the issues like that people have, it didn't really bother me. I thought the movie was solid. Would I watch it again? Probably not. I would probably so much rather watch the original. It just really fucking bothered me that they got rid of Gantu and to put um Jumba as main villain because like if they're gonna do like more movies and they're gonna follow the plot of the second one. Well, if Stitch is gonna like you know damn near die, Jumba's the only one that can save him. So good luck trying to tell that story, I guess. But you know it is what it is. Um, it was still better than the last season too. But another show that I'm watching, Chicago PD, that I put, which we haven't talked about in a while. But I did watch the latest season, and you know, I fuck with the latest season. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I'm not gonna be honest. I'm I'm not gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I did skip a lot of episodes in this season. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like Cook, the new black chick. I don't know. Like I one of the reasons why I stick with Chicago PD is that they do a great job at keeping like a lot of like their pre-existing characters. Um, like I dropped like Law and Order SVU. I dropped um Criminal Minds. I dropped a lot of shows, you know, because they just keep like changing up the cast, and at some point it just gets to be too much. Um, but Cook like she just I don't know like she doesn't really do anything honestly, you know. So I don't know. I just she's just okay, I guess. Um, I think like Torres is probably like the best character. That they introduced, like the best new character they introduced recently. Um, that's because he just has like a good backstory though too. Um, but yeah, yeah, I would say yeah, Torres is probably like the best. Torres is probably like the best like new character. He's actually better. I don't like I don't like Haley Upton, bro. Fucking hate Haley Upton. I'm glad she's off the show. I hate that character so fucking much. Um, yeah, but the moment of time that they decide to get rid of Hank, Hank, Adam, or Atwater, I'm dropping the show. Well, actually, if they drop Hank, then I'm probably gonna drop the show. If they bring in like a new sergeant instead of like having someone else, because I always took it as how like they were gonna have Hank step down at some point, and then Jay would be leading the squad. I'm like, okay, because Hank said so himself in one season that one day this year is gonna be yours. Then Jay, he's not on the show anymore. So yeah, but my current favorite character is it's a tie between Hank and Adam. My current favorite character was like the villain of the season, the Deputy Chief Reed. He was fucking good. He was amazingly written, and the actor was awesome. But I liked Reed because he was like a we'll say he was like a twisted version of Hank basically. And then even like when he died, he looked at Hank. He said, "You're worse than me." Like he was great. I was really hoping that they wouldn't kill him off. I was hoping they would keep him for another season, but right, because like things got like so spicy at the end, where like a lot of the cops, they're like they lost their jobs. Some of them went back down to like working the street. Um, like but it all got resolved quick because because Hank set him up to be killed. Um, like they could have done like a short season of them like working like you know off the clock and in secret to take him down. But like all that stuff, that stuff was great, really good. I like the beginning of the season with Adam and Zoe. Um, Adam had like a lot of good stuff, like him, with Zoe, and them trying to catch Zoe's dad, and Adam dealing with his dad having Alzheimer's. Yeah, Adam has some pretty good storylines um this season. So, but yeah, but all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. Appreciate y'all pulling up to chat, and for those who are gonna watch the stream afterwards. So I will see you guys tomorrow evening for Mafia 3, and then we'll be doing depending on if people respond, we'll be doing something Wednesday night. If not, Wednesday night we'll be playing Mafia 3. Thursday evening will be Mafia 3, and then Friday we'll do Summer Game Fest. But yeah, so you guys take care, stay safe, peace.